For years, we've heard people throw out comparisons between today's celebrities and Michael Jackson. Whether it's The Weeknd, Cristiano Ronaldo, Beyoncé, Taylor Swift, or Chris Brown, the media and social media users are quick to say they've surpassed Michael. Why? Because they've got millions or even billions of followers on Instagram? Because they sell out concerts? Listen, followers don't equal impact, and fame doesn't equal legacy. Michael Jackson wasn't just famous, he changed the world. And no one has even come close to what he did. Let's get straight to the problem. People are comparing today's stars to the greatest entertainer of all time, Michael Jackson. And it's not just wrong, it's disrespectful. Michael isn't just another musician or pop culture figure. He's beyond that. He's the king of pop, and his global influence is something these new stars will never understand. Look, just because Ronaldo has 1 billion followers or Beyoncé is a trending topic, doesn't mean they've reached Michael's level. Michael had 4.8 billion fans in the 80s and 90s when the world's population was barely over 5 billion. That means almost everyone on the planet knew who he was.
Michael Jackson is the king of pop.
King of pop, rock, and soul!
He's the best entertainer in the world.
Much better than sex. Absolutely, totally amazing. Absolutely brilliant.
No Instagram, no Twitter, no TikTok. He didn't need any of that to become a global icon. So what are we even comparing here? Let's break this down further. Back in Michael's era, there was no social media to amplify fame. His stardom came from sheer talent and influence. He didn't need a viral moment. He was the moment. Every single thing Michael touched turned into something the world couldn't stop talking about. Take his 1983 performance at Motown 25. That night he debuted the moonwalk. It wasn't just another dance move, it was a cultural phenomenon, and it's still being imitated to this day. Compare that to today's stars. What defining moment has truly transcended everything in the way Michael's did? Who's leaving a lasting, indelible mark on the world like Michael did with his music, his dancing, and his vision? It's not just about what he did on stage, it's what he represented to the world. In the 80s, Michael Jackson released Thriller. That album wasn't just successful, it's the best-selling album of all time. Over 120 million copies sold. And here's the kicker. He didn't just sell albums, he sold out stadiums. Michael set a Guinness World Record in 1988 when 504,000 people attended 7 sold-out Wembley Stadium shows. Let that sink in for a minute. 500,000 people in one city came out to see him. Is anyone doing that now? No, they aren't. Not even close. And let's talk about his global impact. Michael wasn't just an American star. He was a worldwide phenomenon. From Tokyo to Cape Town, from Paris to Rio de Janeiro, people across every continent knew who Michael was. He wasn't just famous in the Western world, he was famous everywhere. How many of today's stars can honestly say the same? People like Chris Brown or Beyoncé might be big in the States or Europe, but ask someone in a remote village in Asia or Africa who they are, and chances are they don't know or care. Michael's fame crossed every barrier, every border. He was loved in places where Western pop culture had barely penetrated. Here are 10 powerful reasons why people need to stop comparing today's stars to Michael Jackson. Let's settle this once and for all. Michael Jackson defined the standard of fame. Michael Jackson built his fame without today's digital crutches. He didn't need social media, hashtags, or streaming platforms. His name alone drew in billions. He was a force of nature, an actual phenomenon. Unlike the stars today who rely on trends and paid promotions, Michael earned his place by pure talent and innovation. He had no viral strategies. He was the definition of viral before that term even existed. Trying to measure anyone else against him is like comparing a spark to a wildfire. He created the greatest albums of all time. Let's be clear. Thriller and Bad weren't just albums. They were events that changed music history. Thriller isn't some chart-topping record, it's the highest-selling album of all time. Michael set a standard that today's stars can't even dream of reaching. His work is timeless, a cultural milestone that hasn't faded decades later. No amount of sales or streams today even begins to match what he created. Most artists today are scrambling to replicate the kind of success he achieved. They can't. They're not built for it. The most awarded artist in history. Michael Jackson holds an insane 834 awards, more than any artist in history. He's the most awarded musician, period. No matter how many awards shows the industry creates to pump up the image of new stars, Michael's record remains untouched. His awards weren't for social media campaigns or gimmicks, they were earned by his pure talent, creativity, and the impact he made on people. He didn't need to advertise his greatness, he proved it. While today's artists collect popularity points, Michael's achievements are eternal, and no one's getting close. Michael Jackson wasn't just famous, he was universally iconic. Michael Jackson's fame knew no boundaries. His influence spanned every country, every culture. Today's artists struggle to break out of their home markets, relying on internet algorithms to be seen. Michael didn't need an algorithm. He reached over 4.8 billion people in an era when the world's population was around 5 billion. He's as well known in places that some of today's celebrities have never even heard of. His name was, and is, a global language. Comparing someone who's only famous in the West or on Instagram to Michael is insulting. Record-breaking concerts? Michael set records that can't be broken. 7 sold-out shows at Wembley Stadium. More than 500,000 people showed up just to see him. Michael didn't rely on flashy advertising or social media hype. The power of his name alone filled stadiums. No artist today could command that kind of loyalty and demand. They've got to rely on huge marketing budgets. But Michael was the marketing. Every record he set was because the world couldn't get enough of him. No one today could dream of that impact, and that's the truth. He didn't just influence pop culture, he became a cultural force. Michael Jackson is pop culture. The moonwalk, the single glove, that iconic red jacket. These symbols are legendary because of him. Today's stars might throw out a catchy dance move or viral outfit, but none of it will be remembered for generations. Michael's style, his moves, and his music became embedded in the culture itself. Everyone else is just recycling his ideas, trying to catch the magic he created. The man defined what it means to be an icon. Today's stars? They're just following in his footsteps, hoping they can shine even a fraction as bright. The media has tried to take him down, and he's still untouchable. Michael faced more media attacks, more scrutiny, and more false narratives than any celebrity today, and he still stood strong. They tried to break him with rumors, lawsuits, and controversies, but his legacy only grew. Today's stars collapse under pressure with a single critical article. Michael endured decades of relentless attacks and still came out on top. The media went after him harder than anyone else in history, and yet he remains untouchable. Today's celebrities would crumble under even a fraction of what he went through. Social media doesn't equal real impact. Michael had real fans, not followers. Just because someone racks up millions of followers doesn't mean they have a real impact. Social media creates fake numbers and false gods. Michael had real fans, over 4.8 billion of them when social media didn't even exist. His reach was tangible and unforgettable. He didn't rely on bots, algorithms, or promotional boosts. His influence was authentic. Followers don't make legends, real fans do. That's something today's stars, with their paid followers and fake engagement, will never understand. Today's artists don't have Michael's unmatched creativity. Michael didn't just create songs, he reinvented music. He was involved in every part of his art, writing, choreographing, directing. He didn't just go with the flow, he made the flow. The sounds, the dance moves, the visuals, all of it was a product of his genius. Meanwhile, today's stars are leaning on teams of writers, producers, and choreographers just to put out something halfway decent. They're not creators, they're products. Michael's creative vision went beyond what anyone can replicate, and that's why no one ever will. Michael Jackson's legacy is untouchable. Michael Jackson's legacy is beyond what any artist today will ever achieve. While today's stars promote materialism, controversy, and even dark symbols for attention, Michael's message was always one of love, unity, and genuine artistry. He didn't rely on shock tactics to stay relevant. His work was enough. Today's artists are looking for cheap tricks, promoting negative agendas just to keep people talking. Michael didn't need that because his legacy was built on talent, on pure greatness. His name stands above the rest, and comparing anyone to him only reveals just how far they still have to go. The comparisons stop here. Michael Jackson is the king of pop, and he's earned that title through unmatched talent, unprecedented impact, and a legacy that will live on forever. This is where it gets serious. Michael Jackson is the most famous person in history after Jesus Christ. Think about that. There have been kings, emperors, presidents, and other celebrities, but none of them have the same global recognition that Michael has. The numbers, the records, the influence, it's all unmatched. So why are we even having this conversation? Why do people think today's stars deserve to be mentioned in the same breath as Michael? These new artists are nowhere near his level. They don't have his creativity, his genius, or his impact. Michael's music changed the world. His performances redefined entertainment. His artistry broke every barrier imaginable. And let's be real, no one else has ever done what Michael Jackson did. Stop with the comparisons. It's laughable. Michael Jackson isn't just another star, he's a legend, and his legacy is untouchable. So here's what needs to happen. People need to stop comparing today's stars to Michael Jackson. They're playing a different game. They live in a world of social media likes and viral moments. Michael didn't need any of that. He didn't rely on technology or trends to make an impact. His influence was real, and it was lasting. Michael Jackson changed music. He changed pop culture, and he changed the world. Nobody, whether it's Ronaldo, The Weeknd, Beyoncé, or Chris Brown, will ever reach the same level. So let's stop pretending they will. Let's respect Michael's legacy and leave his name out of these pointless comparisons. If you agree with these points and enjoyed the video, give it a like, share it, and let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.